board. All right, good morning, sixth grade.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, 2 good mornings. Okay, so good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. Good morning to the following people that decided to show up today. Good morning to Omar. Good morning to Taris. Good morning to Blessing. Good morning to Janaea. Good morning to Isaiah. Good morning to Denzel. Buenos dias. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Jaden Smith. Good morning, Carlton. Good morning, Jerrickson. Buenos dias. Good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Yerleni. Good morning, Jaden F. Okay, today we're going to be working with writing proportional equations from tables. So today we're going to be presented with tables and we're going to be creating equations. So what we have to do today that's very important is we're going to find out the rule or the pattern. And once we find out the rule of the pattern, we then can create the equation that is shown. So remember, there were 4 operations in math. There's addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So one of those is going to be the rule for you to get the equation from the table. So again, if you don't have the packet, it's shared in Google Classroom and it was emailed out to you. So I'm going to share my screen and start typing on it. I remember yesterday, Amanda was generous to show you how to do it electronically. I suggest you submit your work that way. It's better, it's neater. And when you give me papers that are sloppy, it looks messy. So try to submit it on the computer the way Amanda showed you. If you need more assistance, reach out to her and I'm sure she'll be able to hop on a Zoom to help you out. All right, let's get started because it's getting late now. All right. Here we go. I'm just gonna pull it up. Okay, if you're off of mute, please mute yourself. All right. Omar, can you read the learning target for me?
Learning target, I can write proportional equation from table given and apply to real world situation.
Okay. Now let's look at the example that I provided. This is very important for 7th grade. When we write an equation that describes the relationship, if you look here on my screen, it says hours is 1, miles is 50. Okay, obviously to get from 1 to 2, you add 1, but to get from 50 to 100, you add 50. Or you do 1 times 2 to get 2, and 50 times 2 to get 100. Just like 1 times 3 is 3, and 50 times 3 is 150. 1 times 4 is 4, and 50 times 4 is 200. Okay, so we just pretty much found that out. The first column, okay, I'm gonna write something on this paper that you need to all write with your pencils. Okay, the first column is going to be your X column. Write that in pink. The second column where it says miles, folks, that always represents your Y. So what you're doing is you're finding the relationship between X and Y. So if I wanted to write an equation between this equation here that we have presented, you have to type this in, equation. I know that an equation has an equal sign. So I'm going to say Y equals. How do I get to Y? I take X times 50, right? 50 times 1, 50 times 2, 50 times 3. So it's 50X. This means I multiply 50 times the number for X. For X to get the Y. I suggest you do this electronically. This is very, very important what I just did. Okay? Very, very important information. What I just did, we're going to apply it now to problem, to page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for the next like 6 pages, we're going to be taking this exact skill and figuring out the equation. Okay, I think everyone at this point now has it. Let's see who else arrived. Denzel, he's back. Okay, let me just let him in. All right. Let me erase it. You can always go back to the recorded lesson to get whatever you missed. It gets recorded. It gets posted out during your ELA time. All right, practice problem number 1, which is on page 2. Omar, would you be kind enough to read me this?
Okay. There is a huge sale at the grocery store. So Simon stocked up on his favorite breakfast cereal, Frosted Crunchy Bunches. As he put the cereal box on a shelf in his pantry, he wondered if he has enough shelf space. There is a proportional relationship between the number of cereal boxes Simon stored on his pantry shelf, X, and the number of shelf space in inches the box take up Y.
Okay. We have to write an equation, but before we do that, we got to we have to figure out what is the rule. How do I go from 2 to 4, Omar? What do I do?
2 times 2.
Okay. So I'm just actually I jumped one step ahead myself. So I'm gonna write. Hold on. 2 times 2 gives me 4. How do I go from 4 to 8, Omar?
4 times 2.
How do I go? Walk me through the rest. How do I get from 5 to 10?
5 times 2 and 10 times 2.
Okay, please type this in. So now I'm going to go back to what I was doing before. I'm going to write here the rule / the pattern. Okay? And so Omar, what is the rule or the pattern that I'm doing?
Multiplying by 2.
Okay. I'm going to change that. I think blue is a better option. No, I'm going to do it back to pink. All right. So we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply X by 2 to, this is the rule, to get the Y. Okay? Every table has a pattern. Now, it says, you read it carefully, write an equation. So we know that an equation has an equal sign, yes?
Yes.
So equation has to have an equal sign between X, which is the boxes, and Y, which is the inches. So we're going to always say Y equals in the equation. What do I do with the X? What am I multiplying it by, Omar?
You're multiplying by 2.
2. So we're going to multiply 2X. That's the equation. And I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, this is how we're going to check. We're going to check. The equation says Y equals 2X. I want to check to show that Y equals 2X is true. So the first value is 2 for X.
Yes.
If I substitute 2 into X, what's 2 times 2?
4.
So is it true to say that 2 times 2 is equal to 4? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so that's true. Let's do the next one. If we have Y equals, we have Y equals 2X, and X is 4. If I take the 4 and substitute it into the 2, that means multiply. 2 times 4 is what?
8.
Does Y equal 8? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it when X is 5. Y equals, oh, okay, so I have to, okay. So we'll do it here. If Y equals 2X and X is 5. 2 times 5, what is that?
10.
Is that true?
Yes.
5, 10. Yes. Okay, let's do it over here now. If we have, let me just put this box here. Y equals 2X and X equals 10. What do? I multiply 2 times
10.
and do I get 20?
Yes.
So do you see why that's the correct equation?
Yes.
Okay, because if you had to figure it out, or you had to say, if they said, hey, which of the following equations matches the table, that's how you would test it. You test every value in for X to get your Y. If you do not get your Y output, okay, then you got the wrong rule or equation. Let me start erasing some of it, not all of it. I think a lot of you are still writing here. All I did was substitute. This is algebra. Jaden Smith, how we doing, Jaden Smith? We're good? Jaden, talk to you. Good now?
Yeah.
Taris, are we good? Taris, are we good? All right, Taris, unmute yourself. You're going to read me the next problem. I'm going to erase this now. Hold on, Taris. Let me just get there. Give me a moment. All right, Taris, you're going to read for me problem 2 on page 3, please. Loud and proud.
In his computer science class,
Sebastian?
Sebastian is learning how to program computer games for his final project. Sebastian is creating his own multi-level game. There is a proportional relationship between the number of levels Sebastian has created for his game X and how long in weeks it took him to program them.
Keep going.
Write an equation for the relationships between X, the number of levels, and Y, the number of weeks.
Okay, same exact thing that we just did, okay? Taris, so we're going to circle X, which represents, it says the levels, and the Y represents, supposed to say weeks there. Okay. So, Taris, talk to me on how I get from 1 to 2. What do I do?
1 times 2.
Okay. Talk to me about 3 and 2. How do I get there?
3 times 2.
Okay, keep going. I'm going to be a little behind you, but keep going. How do we get from 7?
7 times 2.
Okay, talk to me about 10 and 20.
10 times 20. I mean 10 times 2.
Okay. So what is the rule or pattern, kiddo?
It goes by 2.
Huh? Be specific. What are we multiplying by 2? We're multiplying the X by 2 or the Y by 2? What are we doing?
We're multiplying the X by 2.
Good. We want to put that in capital letters. We multiply the X by 2 to get the Y. Okay, when you guys submit me the work, I'm looking to see that you type my notes out and that you have the work I showed to get credit. But if you don't give me work, I can't give you a grade based on what you did. So again, if you owe me 2 weeks worth of work, it is now due. I'm not going to remind you again, because if you just don't hand it in, it's just going to unfortunately become a 0 in the grade book. I didn't give you that grade. You chose that. You earned that. All right, let's look again. Write an equation for the relationship between X, the levels, and Y, the number of weeks, Taris. Y equals what? What do I do here?
Y equals,
Huh? What am I doing with the X? What am I multiplying it by?
by 2.
2. So Y equals 2X. Okay, let me show you how that's true. Taris is going to help us out. All right, Taris, we have Y equals 2X. So we don't know Y equals. The X is 1. What's 2 times 1, Taris?
2.
Is 2 equal to 2? Is
Huh?
2 equal to 2? Is the Y 2? Yes. All right, let's do the next one, kiddo. All right, let's do the next box. We got, hold on. I'm going to do another text box here. Okay, so we got Y equal to, whoever's got the siren in the background, just mute yourself. Terry,
That's me.
oh, that's you, okay. All right, so Taris, we got, wait a minute. Why can't I go on this guy? All right, let me go put another text box underneath here. Okay, here we go. All right, Taris, if X now is 3, what's 2 times 3, Taris?
What? Say that again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear
If
you.
x is 3, what's 2 times 3?
6.
Is this y equal to 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so far it's correct. Let's do another text box. Let's say y is equal to 2x. If y is 7, Taris, what's 2 times 7?
14.
Is 14 equal to 14 for the y on the table?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore, so far we know that 3 are correct out of 4. Let's do the last one. I'm going to do it on the bottom here, if it lets me. Okay, so we have y equals 2x. We have y equals 2 times 10, Taris.
20. And yeah, that's equal to y.
So 20 equals 20. It's not letting me bring it up. I'm sorry. I can't make this thing bigger. But the bottom says 20 equal 20. So 2 is 20 equal 20 on the bottom. So in the meantime, as you all write that down, I'm going to start erasing some of the words. Okay? If you're done, I want you to go try page 4 now. It's the same thing. All right, I'm taking it away in 3. Again, it says 2 times 10. It says 20 equal 20 at the bottom. 20 equal 20 where my cursor is. Okay, I'm going to start erasing it. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Problem 3 on page 4. Amanda, please read this problem, Amanda. Amanda, please read this problem. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
During the summer, Pam works on her uncle's dairy farm. One of Pam's many chores is to load bales of hay into a wagon and haul them from the field into the barn. There is a proportional relationship between the number of wagon loads X and the number of bales of hay Pam can haul Y.
Okay, Amanda, how do we get from 1 to 4? Let's start there. What do we have to do?
We have to multiply
By?
by 4
Keep going. How do we get from 2 to 8?
by multiplying by 4.
Keep going. Talk to me about 3 and 12. What happens there?
Multiply by 4.
And how do we go from 5 to 20, which is the last one?
Multiply by 4.
So, Miss Amanda, what is the ruler pattern here? Be specific.
Multiplying by 4.
What am I multiplying by 4?
Oh,
Specific.
4 bales.
Am I multiplying the x by 4 or the y by 4?
The Y by 4.
I am. I'm multiplying 4 times 4.
The X by 4.
Ah, there we go. Ruler pattern. Okay, so we're going to write. We're going to multiply. It's like, these are function tables, right? We're going to multiply. You've seen these before. We use them all year. You probably saw them a little bit in 5th grade. You multiply x by 4 to get y. Now I'm going to show you how that works in a moment once we all have this down. You are multiplying x by 4, so 4x to get your y. So 4x is equal to y, or y is equal to 4x, because I'm going to show you once you write the equation. So Amanda, what is the equation that we're going to write in a moment on the equation line?
1 times
So y equals what? We're going to write 4x, huh?
Y equals X.
What kind of x? 2x, 4x, what?
4X.
Good. Y equals 4x. So I'm just going to erase all this so I can show you. We already demonstrated y. So now let me show you more. over here. So here we go. So remember, 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, and 5 times 4 is 20. So the equation that we have to write would be what, Amanda?
The equation would be 4x.
Good. So we're going to demonstrate up here just because there's more space. I'm going to show you. If y is equal to 4x, now if I substitute y equals 4 times 1, Amanda, is what?
4 times 1 equals 4.
So 4 equals 4. Let's try it here. Under here. If I say y is equal to 4x, in place of x, I'm going to substitute what number? What number do I plug in? 4 times what? What number is x?
4 times 2.
2. What is 4 times 2?
4 times 2 is 8.
So 8, 8, right? I got 8, they got 8. Let's do it when x is 3 now. So y is equal to 4x. Now, if x is 3, we do 4 times 3, which is what, Amanda?
12.
4 times 3. So we're going to get 12 equal 12. Is that true?
Yes.
Now let's do it here. We're going to do y equal 4x. Y equal 4 times 5. What's 4 times 5, Amanda?
20.
20 equal 20. Therefore, that's how you know your work is true. So I'm just going to kind of write, I'm going to kind of make it a little bit easier for some other people, because who knows, this should say times 4 equal. Okay, because sometimes you guys need to see it again, okay, to get it right. So everything is multiplied by 4, and that's what I shown here. This was my work. I used my equation, which was here, and anytime I saw x, I substituted the number. So 5, x is 5. 4 times 5 gives me 20, and so on. That's what we did here. Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Okay. We've done this school year, if you recall. Yes? Lots of them. All right, let's look at problem 4, which goes at the bottom of page 4 into page 5 now. Okay. Jarrickson, you're going to help me out. I'm going to help you. Jarrickson, you're going to say pounds. Say pounds. Repeat, say pounds.
Pound.
Hours.
Hours.
5, 5,
5.
and 5. Read the next number. What are the numbers? ¿Qué número está aquí?
11, 11.
Next.
12, 12.
Next.
30, 30.
13, 13. Okay, repeat. Write an equation
Write an equation
for the relationship
for the relationship
between x,
between x,
the number of pounds,
the number of pounds,
and y,
and y,
the number of hours.
the number of hours.
Good job. Equation. So Jarrickson, how do I go from 5 to 1? What do I multiply by? 5 times what is 1? 15 por qué número son 15?
15. 5 por 3.
3 or 1? 1, right? 5 times 1. 11 times 1 son what?
11.
12 what?
12 por 1 es igual a 12.
Sí, muy bien. Y 13.
Y 13 por 1 es igual a 3.
Excelente. Ok, escribe las notas en el papel, por favor. All right, next. The rule / pattern. Jarrickson, what do I multiply by? ¿Qué número? What number? 1, 2, 3, what?
1.
Good. You multiply. Multiplicación X para 1 que recibe Y. ¿Sí? Multiply X by 1
Ajá.
que recibe Y.
Y.
See, yeah, good job. Thank you for correcting that. To get Y. Comprende?
Ujú.
So the equation is, ¿qué número está aquí? Y es what?
Em,
Hmm? 1, right? 1x is the same as, or they say y equals x. You'll see that in, remember, when there's no coefficient, we have to put a 1. So that x is the same as a 1x or just x. So y equal 1x or y equal x is the same thing. When there's no coefficient, there's a 1 in front. So let me show you how this works now. Okay, so here we go. Let's do y equal 1x. If x is 5, Jerickson, 1, ¿cómo se dice multiplication? 1 por 5, right?
sí.
Son what?
1 por 5 son 5.
Okay, good. Next one. We got y equal 11x. Y equal 11 por 1 son what?
11.
A 5, 11, yeah? We're
Mhm.
correct so far. 12. Tell me what to write here, Jerickson. ¿Qué escribe in the paper? Y equal what?
12 por 1 es igual a 12.
Good job. So 12 times 1 equal 12. And the last one, 13, 13. ¿Qué escribe?
Y paréntesis 12 por 1 es igual a 13.
Muy bien. Good job. Y equal 13 times 1. Oops, not 139. 13 times 1, he said, equal 13. Muy bien, Jerickson. Excellent job, Jerickson.
Okay.
You're welcome. Jerickson, you got to send me over the work, Jerickson.
Okay.
Please. Okay?
Mhm.
Eric, you're going to read problem 5 in a moment. Eric, unmute yourself. Okay, Eric, hold on. Let me give them a moment to write this down. Okay? Good job, Jerickson.
Mhm.
Evelyn, you should be writing this on the computer, not on paper, dear. It looks better on the computer. Remember, I told you next week, no more paper. I'm accepting only computer work. There's no more handwriting it on paper. It looks sloppy. Submit it on the computer. You got Amanda to help you. She knows how to do it. All right. All right, Eric, read me this page, please. Página 6. Lea la problema número 5, por favor.
Jaden and his friends set out to sea on their annual fishing trip. There is a proportional relationship between the time and hours Jaden and his friends spent sailing X and their distance from shore in miles Y. Write an equation for the relationship between X times in hours and Y distance from shore in miles.
Okay, so Eric, you've seen a lot now done for us. So how do we get from 1 to 5?
We
What do we do?
multiply
Multiply by what, kiddo?
by
Good. How do we get from 2 to 10, Eric?
1 times 5
Okay, let me just catch up. How do we get from 3 to 15, kiddo?
times 5
And how do I get from 4 to 20?
times 5.
Okay, so now we're going to figure out what is the rule. So we're going to write rule slash pattern. And what would that be, Eric, based on what you said? You multiply what?
By 5.
Multiply what by 5? The X or the Y?
The hour, the X
Good. The hours by
by 5.
the hours by the miles, which is Y, right? Good
Yeah.
job. We multiply X by 5 to get, I like how you use the terminology. All right, now we're going to demonstrate what is the equation, Eric. I multiply what? We just said it in words. Let's write it in math. Y equal,
Y equals 1 times 5.
Yep, we're going to say 5x here. Good job. Okay, let me write that down. Now you're checking your work. Perfect. Y equals 5x. He says 5 times 1 is what, Eric?
5.
5 times 1, so 5 equal 5. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the next one. We have,
2 times 5. 2 times 5, which
2
is
times
10.
Good. So is that true? Based on the table?
Yes.
Good. Let's do the next one. Y equal what? 5x.
3 times 5 equals 15.
So 15 equals 15. Good. And let's do the last one to check our work to prove that it's correct.
4 equals 4 times 5
5 times 4
equals 20.
is 20 equal to 20.
Yes.
So there you go. There is how you know that the work is correct. Again, starting Monday, guys, this has to be done on the computer. There's no more turning the papers in. Everything can be done electronically every day. That way I ensure I get my work. Amanda, again, will be more than happy to show you how to do it. If you just reach out to her, do a Google Hangout or something, I'm sure she'll help you. But I am not accepting any more paperwork as of Monday, which is July 27th. I want it on the computer with your name on it. It's much neater and it goes in your file. All right, we're moving on in 3. Okay, we're gonna move on now to problem number, we just did that one, right? The Jaden question. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see who's gonna read. If your camera's not on, Blessing, you better turn it on. Don't make me repeat it again. Okay, Blessing, I'm gonna call home. I don't know who this is. Jaden Smith, can you read this question with Shalacy on it for me, please? Mr. Smith, the question's in front of you.
She Lazel's favorite book is about Johnny Appleseed, the American pioneer who planted apple trees all across the country. Inspired by the story, she Lazy plants an apple tree in her backyard and tends to see as it slowly grows into a tree. There is a
Proportional.
emotional relationship between the age of she Lassie's apple tree and years X and the height of the tree in feet Y.
What does it now say to do? You didn't finish. Keep reading.
Write an equation for the relationship between X, apple tree in years, and Y, the height of the tree in feet.
All right, Jaden, how do we go from 3 to 1? 3 to 3, sorry. What do we have to do? Multiply by what?
1,
1. Talk to me about 6 and 6. What do we do?
multiply by 1,
7 and 7.
multiply by 1,
And 20 and 20.
multiply by 1.
Okay, so now, Jaden, if you tell me we have to multiply by 1, let's be more specific. What are we multiplying 1 by to get Y? We multiply what? We're multiplying X or Y?
X.
We multiply X, which is the years, by, I'm going to put this by 1 to get, and then put Y in quotes. All right, Jaden, now we're going to actually demonstrate. Okay, there's the rule of the pattern, all right? Now we're going to actually demonstrate here how this is true. So Y equal, oh wait, we didn't get the equation yet, sorry. So Jaden, what's the equation? You said you have to multiply X by 1 to get Y. So we write it as 1X, or remember, we just did this?
Oh.
Y equals X, because when there's no coefficient, there's a 1 in front, yes? Okay, so let's go now substitute the numbers in. So Y is equal to 1X. So we have 1 times 3. What's 1 times 3?
3.
3. So 3 equals 3, right? Let's do it now here when X is 6. So we write Y equals 6X. So we have 6 times 1, which is what?
6.
6 equals 6. Next, talk to me about 7. What does that look like? Come on. Y equal what?
Y equals 7X.
Keep going.
Times 1 equals, 7 times 1 equals 7.
Good. Let's do the last one, and then I'll give you guys time to copy this down. What do we do? Y equals what?
Y equals 20X. 20 times 1 7 equals 20.
Okay. Take a moment to copy that down. It's got to be quick. So again, when there's no coefficient, there's a 1 in front. So 1X is the same as X. That's very important because now when you head into 7th grade in a few weeks, they're not going to put a 1 in front. You're going to have to know that 1X is the same as X. So remember, like we've been stressing and I've been telling you all year, that when there's no coefficient, you have to place a 1 in front. That's what that is. Y equals X is the same as Y equals 1X. Okay, I'm going to take it down in 3, 2, in 1. Everyone at this point should have had that down. Okay, we're almost done. All right, Taris, can you kindly read me problem 7, dear?
Healthy Grains is an organic food company that makes several different kinds of trail mix. The company's sweet and salty trail mix includes dark chocolate and almonds, and it comes in different size packages. There is a proportional relationship between the amount of dark chocolate in ounces, X, and the amount of almonds in ounces, Y, in each packet of sweet and salty trail mix.
All right, we know we're gonna have to write an equation. So let's figure this out, Taris. How do we go from 2 to 3, 2 to 6?
2 times 3.
Okay, keep going. Walk me through the rest.
3 times 3.
Good, keep going. Next one.
4 times 3.
Good, and the last one.
6 times 3.
Okay, now, talk to me now. What is the rule or pattern that we're going to write up right here? What are we gonna write? What's the rule or pattern?
It goes by 3.
What goes by 3? Be specific. Multiply what?
We multiply by 3.
Are we multiplying the X or the Y?
X.
Good, we multiply the X by 3 to get the Y. All right, we're almost done, Taris. That's doing really good. I'm probably gonna have to put the exit ticket up when you have when you're in a class because I have to figure out how to get these tables up, okay? All right, Taris, let's prove why this is right. So actually, I'm just gonna write at the top just because of timing. I want you to put, what's the equation, Taris? Y
Uh,
equals what?
y equals 3. 3 times 3x.
Good job, okay? Now we're gonna actually prove why this is true. So we're gonna write y equal 3 times x. So we're gonna take the 2 and plug it in. So 3 times 2 is what, Taris?
6.
Is that true?
Yes.
Again, I didn't write the equation just because I ran out of space. So I plugged in 3, and I took the x, which is 2. That's how I got 6. So 3 times 3 is what, Taris?
9.
Okay, let me just write that down. Y equal 3 times 3. Okay, which is 9. Is that true from the table?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, talk to me about the next one.
Y equals 4 times 3.
Which is what?
12.
Right in the last one, kiddo?
6. Y equals 6 times 3.
Which is what?
18.
Is that true from the table?
Yes.
So we have no problems, right? Everything matches. Now, one thing that you guys, I remember from the beginning, from the year, is that some of you guys would find the answer and only put one number in. You got to test all the values. That means all the x values to get the y. It has to be true for all in order to be the equation. That's where they trick you. All right?
Alright.
All right. So now we're going to go to the exit ticket. Okay, I'm going to try to input these tables. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to try my best. Not sure how it's going to look, but I'm going to try. Here we go. That was pretty straightforward. All right, now we're on your exit ticket. There are 3 questions with tables. Let's see. Blessing. Isaiah F. Show your face. Isaiah, you need to unmute yourself and you're going to read me this question on the paper. Show your face. Thank you. Read this question for me. It says, Isaac's class.
Isaac's class is having a holiday party, and he is in charge of bringing juice. He decides to bring power juice mix and add water to it at school. There is proportional relationship between the volume of water Isaac uses to make the juice in liters. X and the number of scoops of juice mix he uses Y. What question shows the relationship between X and Y from the table above?
All right. Isaiah, how do we go from 5 to 10? What do we do?
We times it
By what?
2.
Excellent. Talk to me about 6 and 12. What happens here, kiddo?
We times it by 2 again.
Good. What about 7 and 12? I mean 24. 7 and 14, sorry.
We times both of them by 2.
And 8 and 16.
We times it by 2.
All right. So what is the rule here? What is the rule or pattern? What do we do? Talk to me.
We have
What do we multiply by?
we have to multiply all by 2.
What by 2? The x or the y?
The X.
Good. Now, okay, we're not going to test everything. We're going to write what is the equation. What is the equation based on the answer choice? Let's look at what a rule is now. We're looking backwards. Is it y equal 3x? Did we multiply by 3 here?
Yeah.
We did? 5 times 3 is 10? We did?
No.
No. Did we multiply 2 times x? So that means 5 times 2 to give me y. Is that true?
Yeah.
Did we multiply 4 times x? No.
No.
And did we multiply 5 times x?
Yes.
We did? 5 times 5 give me 10?
Oh no.
No. So what is the answer? Huh?
B.
This is the answer. You see it? Right there where the green check mark is. Y equal 2x. Simple, right? You got to have this work copied down, though, or you're not going to get credit. Because some of you guys are submitting work with answers selected and you don't show anything down. I cannot accept it with just answers on the paper. I want the work shown. Am I understood?
Yes.
And remember, you do not send me page by page. We're almost done. Here we go. Very simple. Almost there. Okay? Remember, I'm looking for the work that I demonstrate in the class to get your credit. All right, problem 2. The same concept. Eric, Ava and her dad share an intense love of baseball. Every weekend they go to the batting cages to practice hitting. Ava's dad buys tokens for her to use in the batting cage. There is a proportional relationship between the number of tokens Ava uses, which is X tokens, and the number of pitches thrown by the pitching machine, Y. Which equation shows the relationship? So let's look at it. Talk to me about 1 and 14. What do I do here? Eric.
You multiply times 14.
Good. What do we happens between 5 and 70? What do I multiply by?
14.
All right. 14. What happens between 6 and 84?
You multiply by 14.
And what happens between 7 and 98?
Multiply by 14.
So now, Eric, pretty self-explanatory. The rule / pattern. What do I multiply by?
Multiply X
Uh-huh.
times by 14
To get what?
equals Y.
Excellent. To get. Now, Eric, what would my equation look like? Look at those answer choices. What is it going to be? Y equals what? Is it going to be Y equals 11x, Y equals 12x, Y equals 13x, or Y equals 14? There should be an X there. This should say an X there. So let me stop that for a second. I must have chopped it off because I wasn't paying attention. This should say, put on your paper an X here. So what's the equation now? Y equals 14 what?
14x.
So what answer?
D.
What answer? Huh?
D.
D. Okay, Y equals 14x. You should pick answer D. Answer D. Because you're multiplying, if you look here, right? Look, you are multiplying by 14, by 14, by 14, by 14. You're multiplying the tokens, which is your X, in order to get your Y. Hence, this is why you pick D. So again, I put a correction with an X. You better write that on your paper. Moving on. In 3, in 2, last question on your exit ticket. In 1. Okay? The assessment on Thursday will be like this. All right, last question. Evelyn, please read this. It's Carla.
Carla is using nails to build birdhouses. The table below shows N, the number of nails she used to build B, different numbers of birdhouses.
Keep reading. If
Carla keeps following this pattern, which of the following expression can she use to find N? The number of nails it will take to build a B birdhouses.
All right, so let me teach you a little something. I showed you in the very beginning of the class that the first column, if you wrote it down in the notes when we talked about, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was about the hours and the miles. Yes, the hours and the miles. I told you that the hours was always your X column. So the first column in math is always your X column, which is called your input or your domain. Your second column is the Y, which is your output, the number you put in to get the answer, which is also called the range in math. So now that we know that, okay, we have to figure out, how do we go from 2 to 22, Evelyn?
By multiplying
By what? What am I multiplying by?
21, I think.
So 21 times 21 is 2?
No.
No. 2 times what is 22? Two times what is 22? You know?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 12,
12 or 11?
11. Wait, 11, yeah.
11. Now, 3 times what's 33?
11.
And 4 times what's 44?
11.
Okay, and last but not least, 5 times what is 55? 11, right?
Mhm.
So let's look at this. We know we got to multiply by 11, correct? Yes?
Yes.
So we're going to write rule / pattern. Again, this is the last week you're allowed to submit the work paper. It must be done electronically. I'm not taking anything through paper next week as of Monday. Multiply what? Multiply X by what, Evelyn?
By 11.
To get what? To get Y. In this situation, this X is actually the letter B in here. We should be more specific. I'm going to be more specific. To get the Y, which technically is the N in this question. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So now we got to figure out which equation matches the work. Are we going to take B minus 11? Did we do that?
No.
No.
Okay. Did we do B plus 11? Did we add anything here?
No.
Did we divide B by 11 to get 22?
No.
So what is the correct answer?
B.
B. Do you see that?
Yes.
It's 11 times B. Remember, when there's no sign, it means multiplication. Questions, comments, concerns, issues?
No.
Ask me now. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the main screen. Please make sure you guys are doing iReady. You're supposed to be doing iReady for both math and ELA. And when I checked, not a lot of you were doing it. It is very important that you do your iReady for math and ELA. It's going to get you proficient in the skills and the grade. Reminder before I unrecord it, stop the recording. If you have not submitted the work last week, which was the week of July 13th to July 16th, and the week before that, which was July 6th through July 9th, it is very important, that means crucial, that I have it today. If I do not have the work today, you are not earning credit for that week's packet. The packet is 30% of your grade each week. So if you don't turn it in, you're hurting yourself, folks. Okay, the exit ticket will be posted when you're in your ELA class, so make sure you do it